Hi, 10-4. I got 9011 on. One shot, consider it hot.
10-4, Mr. Weaver, consider it hot.
I got a fuse on fire.
Consider it hot.
10-4.
All right, 10-4, 743. Consider it hot.
10, well,
Consider it hot. Consider it hot.
you guys do it.
10-4,
Consider it hot.
consider it hot.
Consider it hot. Consider it hot.
Welcome to the September Consider It Hot podcast episode.
It is September, Leigh.
Yes, it is.
You are Leigh Denney.
I am, and you are Don Johnson.
Indeed. And it is September already. I can't believe it.
Someone told me the other day that they accidentally called you John Donson.
It has happened before. That has happened. A little name switcheroos just to keep life interesting. I've been called worse, as they say. What are we going to do in September? Let's see. There's a couple things going on. What's the fun stuff in September? It's Baby Safety Month?
Oh.
What is that?
Baby Safety Month is not specific to electrical safety, but we are going to make it a little bit about that because, of course,
That's what
we are
do.
an electric co-op.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've got some tips, just some of the obvious ones. Make sure you're putting outlet covers, keep cords and stuff away from not only babies, but also baby animals.
Baby animals, too. That's right. Yeah, don't chewing on cords.
Yep. Don't put those cribs next to the cords that hang down from your blinds.
We do want to keep the babies safe, so
Yes.
keep them away from electrical things.
We'll be sure to include it on our pages.
It's also going to be Preparedness Month, Emergency Preparedness Month. I mean, that's really every month, but this is a specific push. You can go to ready.gov and the Texas Department of Emergency Preparedness. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute, actually.
Awesome.
Be prepared is what that's all about.
It is all about safety, superheroes.
Yes, we just got finished with, I know you had a lot to do with this. We had 2 million hours worked with no lost time.
That is very true. And what an accomplishment that is.
That is really great. And it was fun to get, we just were able to get everybody together in 2 separate meetings to get everybody together. But some of the guys cooked out there, had some great burgers and celebrated a good time. I just hope all the members out there, I hope you all understand how the safety culture here works at TVEC. It really affects members as well because we are all local folks and take care of each other. I think Chad, our manager of safety and loss control, said it best. He said, we are a family. And so we all look out for each other and we look out for members too.
That's right. And our theme was heroes are needed at home because we are local, of course. And so we had a superhero theme. And by the time this podcast comes out, the video of January through August events would have already gone out. So members can check that out. And if you're wondering why it's themed to Superman, that is why.
Go. That's right. And all that training, the CPR training and the having fire extinguishers and stuff available and having really well safety trained employees, that comes in handy out in the field as well. When something happens, our folks are ready to go.
Absolutely.
Really awesome. So good job, everybody there. The other thing that happens in September that is really big for for our co-op anyway, our board of directors election starts this month, and that is so important for us. One of the key things that makes a co-op different from a for-profit company that sells power is that we have a board of directors that is made up of members who set out the course for the company, and we need member participation in that election, but it's going to be a little different. Our annual meeting is kind of tied with that election. That is going to be October 16th, which means the timeline for the election is pushed back a little. Mm-hmm. And the September Texas Co-op Power magazine will not hit mailboxes until starting there. September 16th is when they mail those. There's some timeline items defined by the bylaws of the co-op. So your magazine will be a couple of weeks late.
Yes.
As soon as you get it, get that ballot in or respond to the election email, log into the website, list it on the ballot, figure out a way to vote in the election. And that is important because it also sets the quorum for our annual meeting to do business there. And if you want to enter for the prizes, by golly, it is very important that you vote. $2,000 in prizes. That's how important it is. The top prize there is $1,000 cash. That's worth entering, right?
Absolutely.
I'm a member. I'm going to vote. That's for sure.
And October 14th is the deadline that if you're mailing in your ballot to make sure that it is actually there.
Right. And it does have to travel via the United States Postal Service. God bless them.
Oh, goodness.
Send it early. Okay. So that is all good. And the election, of course, we want everybody in on that. And that all leads up to annual meeting. Leigh, what are we looking at for annual meeting this year?
Annual meeting is going to be a really good time.
A really good time. Okay.
And as you know, we had a musical guest last year. We're going to be having one this year too.
Right.
I am so excited. We'll have, of course, food and the best part, hearing from Jeff Lane. But the second best part is all of the raffle prizes.
Right. Lots of door prizes to wrap that thing up.
And we also have our bag, of course, our goodie bag.
The goodie bags, all the fun reasons to go. And you know what's also fun? Just getting to see all the members and all the members interacting with our co-op employees. It's such a good time. And then there's the financials and there's the updates from all the management folks.
And what a fun way to learn about financials over food and prices.
Right. If you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it. We were touching on September being Emergency Preparedness Month. And there are some great resources online. There's all kinds of things about what kind of emergency kit you can put together and all those kinds of things. But the real thing is, if you don't have things ready to go when you need them, it's going to be a bad deal. And the first thing that you need to have when you need it is a plan. And this is particularly important for those of us with families. I think that's most everybody. People who love you, people you need to take care of, is having a plan either for evacuating the house in case of a fire emergency or where you're going to meet up if you're separated during something like a tornado or something. Where do we go after that? So having a plan and practicing the plan, very important. Gathering supplies so that you have an emergency preparedness kit with first aid information and first aid supplies. And, we're all about power here. So your flashlight, flashlight.
Any kind of medication you may have.
Medication's a great tip there. Or even a list of things that your loved ones may need. And communication. Got to be able to get information in order to know how to respond for incoming weather or other things like that. So, yeah, those are the three things: making a plan, having supplies, and being in communication. It's good stuff. Lots of resources online, so jump on there. I'm sure we'll be posting about it as well on our social media. So come along, follow us on Facebook and all those good things.
It's important to always have those plans in place because you just never know when something's going to happen. September, of course, as you said, Preparedness Month. And I did a lot of prepping for school because it's back in session. And the kiddos, they've been a few weeks in now. And that means that we get to get back into those schools because we have some amazing safety programs.
That's true.
Great for kids ages kindergarten. Really, we go all the way up to high schools because we have career days and such. You can learn all about that on our website. And then we'll be putting out some promotional videos so you can actually see what we do, how we do it. I wish I could describe it, but it's really just cooler to see it.
It really is. You got to see it to believe it. We also host homeschool groups and that sort of thing. Any kind of group that could use electrical safety information, we can take care of that.
My favorite is the littles, the 3-year-olds, because when they see, we actually have real electricity sparks. And when you see those faces.
Yeah, the reaction. Great.
You can contact Bobby Byford if you have any questions, or just if you go on our website, we have an interest form on there. You can let them know the kids' ages, what grades they're in, how many people you'll have, and it'll get sent directly to our PR team, who will then get in contact with you and schedule a date to get them out.
You know who's most prepared for electrical safety that I know?
Who is that?
It's our linemen.
They are. They are. They are some of the best that I know.
You know what else they do very well? Hard work.
We've got two that are going to join us and talk about some of that hard work. Hard emotionally, hard physically.
Yeah, because they were down helping to, what was it, a total? 21?
21, and then our CEO also went down.
He doesn't like to talk about that. Oh. He's a good guy. don't let anybody know.
He is a very, very good guy.
We did have our crews go down to was it Leander and Kerr County following flood relief. Following Linemen. How was Linemen Rodeo?
Oh, Linemen Rodeo was a
We
blast.
didn't talk about that. Linemen Rodeo was good.
It was good. We had multiple top 25 finishes. We had our journeyman team and a pole climb win that were in top 5. We're going to be going to international, so we'll be sure to share information on that. And honestly, just it was a little, because it's of course in Seguin, and so you kind of go down the hill
down
country.
there on the river. It's literally on the river.
That's right. And so it was, a lot of these guys that actually were in rodeo, they ended up leaving directly from rodeo and going to flood relief.
Yep.
So we've got them here to talk about that.
Yeah. So welcome to the podcast to talk about going to help with part of just a great effort to be of assistance after those crazy floods in July. 2 of our expert line crew, operator, lineman, what other names have y'all been called?
Do you really want to know?
They can't say those on here.
Never mind. We have Josh Manning. Josh, how long have you been working here at the co-op?
I think December the 8th be 24 years.
24 years. And then Anibal Zarate. Mm-hmm. How long have you been here, Anibal?
Going on 10 years.
10 years. So a lot of experience between you two.
Yes, sir.
What we're here to talk about, though, has nothing to do with line work. No. It has all to do with being part of a cooperative and the way we tend to operate in a community. So we're not here to talk about line work. We are here to talk about, you guys were part of, how many total people did we have? About
22.
22 of our crew, literally from newer employees to some who've been here over 30 years.
So CEO.
To the CEO. Going down after the floods. First off, let's just talk about that. There was flooding July 4th weekend and afterwards down in Hill Country. I think everybody's pretty familiar with that story. But y'all are both parents and enjoy, being Texans and all the things. What are your first thoughts when you saw a story coming out of that holiday weekend and heard what was happening down there with all the floods? What was y'all's initial reaction before we were even headed down to do any work there?
My initial reaction was I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm. Same.
There's something about seeing people in need and having some skills and abilities to do that. So when that opportunity did come, it was about a week. I guess everybody finally came together and said, "What can we do?" And so with a lot of storms and power restoration work, we send crews. We get crews from other places to help. What was the call this time? What were y'all tasked with doing this time?
Clean up.
Driving skid steers, picking up all the debris we could, as much as we could while we were there.
So clean up.
Clean up, yes.
Can you give us an idea of what it looked like when you arrived?
Yeah.
Oh, that looked like a bomb went off.
Mm-hmm. Worse than any tornado or hurricane I've been to.
Really? Mm-hmm. And now within that, it's sort of confined, right?
Yeah.
But what was the scene like when y'all pull in? What were you expecting, and what was it really like?
I wasn't expecting that, and it was pretty bad.
And Anibal came straight from rodeo, so he went from coming on this high of excitement and our team's winning, and then going there. I'm sure that was...
Oh, yeah, totally different.
Yes.
Yeah, your morale was down, and because of everything that's tore up and all the houses destroyed, and you see people out there with nowhere to go, and it's tough to see all that, experience that.
Right. That is a place where people go to have fun and to enjoy. Just that idea of that weekend, so many people were down there just enjoying a great time, and then to have that turned up on its head. What was the reaction like when y'all are down there helping, as you see lots of people gathered from all around the country, really, even? What was it like being part of the group of helpers?
Oh, it was great. It was great. We met people from all over the country. I mean, everybody was there to do one thing only, and that was help and
Help each other.
help each other. And
You need something, they'll give it to you or try to find it for you.
So you mentioned the skid steers and cleanup work. What specifically in line work? There's a lot of work, with dangerous situations, and there's a lot of safety mindset and all that stuff that we're always talking about. But what skill set from being a lineman crosses over into restoration work after a flood?
Really, everything. Just the main thing is being safe and staying safe and watching for each other. You know, you don't want to hit nobody with something you're carrying on the front end of the skid steer when you're turning or something. So definitely got to be just watching everything around. Because you have people that are cleaning up debris too on foot that ain't necessarily with your crew. But you got to watch out for them too, because they don't know what you're doing. They don't know what, you don't know what they're doing. So you just really got to pay attention while you're down there.
Were there any moments that stuck out to you guys, whether it was just a difficult moment or an inspiring moment?
Oh, yeah.
Anything
Which
you
I
can
sent
recall?
pictures of that.
Right. Yes. Fortunately, we had some of the guys send us some photos because Dawn and I were not able to be there. And so they take on another part. So they're not only doing cleanup, they're also photographers.
Reporting as well. Yeah. Were there any particular stories of folks you were able to run into down there, help out down there that stuck with you or will stick with you for a while, or relationships you were able to make down there?
There's a few.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few. There's one guy that one of our main contacts said he was a grumpy old man. But after we got done helping him and cleaning up his place, he wasn't as grumpy no more. So I mean, everybody down there was mad at the situation, mad that they were having to even go through it. But and as far as that went, after we left, it was a different. They had a different aspect. So
when it comes to things that are going to come in the future, whether it's something we need help with or that we need to go and help with, it's like, how has that changed your attitude on being that helper? I mean, y'all are helpful anyway, but did it change anything for you inside?
yes, whole different mindset.
Oh, yeah.
Just the way you think about life in general. Not every day you're promised.
No.
So
And I think, you could see the photos on social media, but for you guys to be actually down there and then come back home, what was the first thing that you thought when you got back home? It was, you see your kids again. Is there a moment of appreciation?
Oh, yeah.
Did you just want to lay in bed? What kind of feeling is that?
I was ready to go back.
Yeah.
I would have stayed 2 weeks if I could.
Yeah.
Is there something about feeling that useful in doing that kind of work? So both of y'all are Canton? You Canton?
Edgewood, Easter Canton.
Edgewood? Okay, so y'all were both in our area. The most recent thing that I can even think of that's anywhere close to that was the tornadoes in 2017.
Yes.
Y'all were both here at that time.
Yeah.
And just a path of destruction like I hadn't seen before for sure. How do you equate the two? Is there an equivalent between the two?
No.
Really? How so?
Just knowing everything that happened and, all the little kids that were involved in that got mystic. Just that alone, sets it apart from anything I've done, anything I've been a part of. Knowing that, not everybody, or I don't know if everybody's been rescued or not or found. So just in that alone, it's been probably the worst of anything I've been a part of since I've been at this co-op or anything.
Like you're doing cleanup and you don't know if there's a body that you could find as you're doing this because there were so many people unaccounted for.
I'll say I looked at the stats before we talked here. Was it 135?
I think so.
Was what the total was, at least to this point. That human impact is such a big part. And yet, driving through there, you only see it in parts. It's such a weird perspective on that. Like,
yes, for sure. Oh, yeah.
You've already been a part of recovery in these things, going to help at other co-ops. But has that sort of life perspective changed for you guys? Like just how humanity can work together and do good stuff together?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no matter.
Oh, you want us to elaborate a little bit?
No matter what background you are. I mean, it really don't matter what background you come from or what your background is or whatever. Yeah, something like that. Everybody pulls together and they don't see black or white. Everybody's just there to help each other out and be the best they can be, I guess.
And maybe it shouldn't take a massive tragedy
Yes.
for that to happen a little
Yes,
bit.
sir, for
Oh
sure.
man.
So did y'all
That's
do
perspective.
any line work when you're there? It was just strictly that you guys were helping with the equipment to
Clean
pull
up.
stuff out of
Just
the mud, clean
yeah.
up.
And we
Okay.
cleaned up a lot, but if you really look at it and we actually pay attention to it, we didn't make a dent.
You didn't feel like you made it.
Wow.
And we did a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're still
Oh, yeah.
digging out now. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Well, I sure appreciate what y'all did. We got a huge reaction from people online, and I know lots of members who appreciate y'all were willing to do that. And it's just great to be a part of a cooperative that we can allow that time and allow that, the equipment and skill set that you guys have, even though it's line work related,
Yeah.
it does translate into willingness to help out in a lot of other ways. So,
Well, and it shows that this co-op cares about more than just our area too. It shows that they
Right.
care about everything, and they gave us the opportunity to go out there and help. So that shows a lot about Trinity Valley as a whole.
right.
Right, because whenever we're sending people out too, we have to think about the fact that we're losing those people here to take on outage
Absolutely.
restoration, so other people are also working.
Yep.
I have a question though. Who packed the best snacks?
Ooh. I have no idea who packed big snacks.
I don't think I packed any snacks.
I don't think I did either.
I didn't. I don't think we.
Wasn't on your mind.
No.
That was the last thing on my mind.
Okay.
Well, coming from rodeo, like you said earlier,
Right.
I didn't even think about it. Just got my stuff and hopped in the truck with somebody else and went to Linder, and then from Linder we went to
Didn't have to pack no snacks or anything like that. They had food.
Oh, yes.
There were volunteers, barbecue and pizza and sandwiches. I mean, anything you could possibly need, they had it.
So they're taking care of you as
Yes.
well.
Oh yes, they did.
Yeah.
That's good. It does take all the logistics and all
yes.
the. I know Jeff was talking about running into another TVEC member down there helping who was doing some laundry, I believe, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so it's fun to see everybody come together like that. And yeah, the crew's back here. We're taking up a lot of extra work to make that possible. So we sure appreciate it. I know members really appreciate it. Like I said online, the response was great. Everybody was very proud of what y'all were doing. And thanks for spending some time to tell us about it so members can hear directly from you guys. Yeah.
Sadly, we have to send you back out into the heat. You don't get to stay in the cool air with us. So
That's okay.
Maybe one day.
Anyways. Well, thank y'all for having us.
thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, always a humbling experience to sit down with those guys. We have the guys here too because a lot of them did end up going. I think, like Josh said, got to take care of things back home. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about being back home, we talk about the community. We hit a pretty big milestone for Operation Roundup.
What's that?
We hit $4.5 million in awards and grants to our nonprofits, to the organizations right here in our community.
That is awesome.
Yes.
So that is
Since
just
2013, correct?
2013.
Okay.
That's when Operation Roundup started here. That's a nationwide program. But, it seems like almost everybody has a Roundup thing these days. I was at, where was I? I mean, if you do the drive-through at Panda, they've got one of the children's hospitals.
I know Burger King does, Dollar General does.
Yes. And, man, I was at the randomest one.
But usually those go towards a very specific.
Tractor Supply.
Oh,
Tractor Supply had a Roundup for Future Farmers of America.
cool.
Yeah, very specific.
Right.
The electrical one, though, what do we do with our Roundup program?
So I think ours is a little unique because
Very.
we get to help out such a wide variety of folks. And that's all the way from, some of those that have been here on the podcast, like veterans or CASA. We help out, with food pantry assistance. We help with youth programs. There's such a wide variety of things that we do.
Members may want to know too. There's a bill payment assistance section of our website, and that doesn't come directly through the co-op because we don't want to be in the charitable space where somebody here would be picking who can or can't get
Right.
assistance. But that money does go to assist. And if somebody needs assistance with an electric bill, they should go visit the website for bill payment assistance. But so many good things.
Yeah, our Operation Roundup page has the totals, any of the people that have received grants in the past and the organizations that have received them. And then, of course, like today, we'll have our guest on there that's going to talk a little bit about how those dollars are impacting things. Did you want me to go over the ones that received grants this month?
Yeah, who got August grants?
So speaking of bill payment assistance, we helped out First Methodist out in Maybank. They have a program called Helping Hands,
Nice.
And it's specifically for bill payment assistance. We also helped out the Henderson County Food Pantry. $3,000 went to them. And then Paint Palestine Pink, $1,000. Arcane Center YMCA for $2,500. And then the Andrews Center for $5,000.
We are going to have to get a little bit more information on Paint Palestine Pink.
I'm wondering if it has to do with October breast cancer.
It absolutely does.
Okay.
I know that much. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it's not actually painting Palestine pink. But that's always good. That maybe we'll talk to them next month. We can give that a try.
I think that'd be really, really great because we've got some people here who are breast cancer survivors.
Absolutely. Those are all great grants. And last month, there was a grant for the Refuge of Light down also in Anderson County. Norma Mullican spoke with us about what they do in the space of helping young ladies who have come through trafficking or that sort of situation, and what they do about for education for online. Man, it's just a terrible thing. Online predators and how you can do the right thing when those kind of situations come up as a parent. So let's talk to Norma.
Thank you. I'm happy to have this opportunity.
Well, we certainly just for last month in our podcast episode, we had some information from CASA, the legal side of things, dealing with kids and kids in general in the court system. And so I thought it would be a good introduction just to say how are what you guys different? Y'all aren't dealing in the court system, but give us the overview of what Refuge of Light does and who y'all are helping in not just Anderson County, but all over East Texas, really.
Well, sometimes we are pulled into the legal system with our girls because we work with girls 18 to 25 years old. And typically they've been through the foster care system. They have aged out and don't really have good, solid families to go back to. They don't have that support. So a lot of times they do get in trouble with the law. And so we often have girls that have court cases against them or their own probation, and going through a program will help them to get some of that taken off of them. But what we do is we get referrals from all over the state of Texas. We get referrals from law enforcement, from hospitals, from social workers, just everywhere. We've been around since 2010, so our name and number is out there. And when they get a young girl that's needing help, they will give them our number. And what we try to do is, first thing we do is kind of interview them over the phone, find out where they are, not only where they are physically, but where are they mentally? Right. Are they ready for a program like ours? Because ours is not a shelter. It's not a place to come and just hang out. They have to be trying to improve their lives. They have to be, we tell them, you need to be moving forward. Think of yourself as being on a scale or a ladder, and you have to be moving forward to be in our program. We try to help them if they need counseling. We will get them connected with a counselor that we work with. If they need rehab, drug rehab, we're not really set up for that, but there are programs that we are familiar with and work with, and we will refer them to those programs. And then once they get out of rehab, they can come back to us. But what we try to find out before we bring them to the home is what they want, why they called us. Are they just looking for a place to get out of the weather if it's hot or it's cold, or are they really wanting to move forward? And then we find out if they have a high school diploma or a GED. You'd be surprised to know how many young people age out of foster care and don't have a high school diploma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that puts them at a huge disadvantage right away. So that's the first thing we try to figure out. And if they need a GED, we work with a teacher that has been great in helping our girls kind of go through that really fast and move forward fast, because most of our girls don't have a lot of patience.
Right.
They're not into waiting a long time, for some kind of results. So we try to get through that as quickly as possible. And then we talk to them about certificates. There's different certificates they can move through fairly quickly, like CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant, or phlebotomy. There's different ones that are like a 4-year degree that they can do and go ahead and, get a job, start taking care of themselves. If they don't have a driver's license and they're interested in that, we'll help them to get a driver's license. Most of them have lost all paperwork because typically they'll become homeless, or they'll just kind of be couch surfing where they just stay with friends here and there. And so they lose, if they've had a Social Security card or birth certificate, or if they did have a high school diploma, they've lost all of that. So that's another thing we need to know from the beginning. Do we need to start working on that? Because that can take time for them to get those things back. And without an ID, without those things, they can't move forward, with education or a job.
So
and then we work with them. Go ahead.
I was just say, so it seems like, if anything, it starts with you all providing a base of stability,
Yes.
in order to, sort of a foundation for these ladies to take off from after coming out of a difficult situation. I was just going to ask, what is the scale of that problem? Like, what do you see out there that those of us who aren't actively involved with this population, what do you see out there as the need, and how did it come about that y'all were in the place to rise up to meet the need and carry forward with what y'all are doing?
Well, the need is great, but we didn't realize when we first started this, when we were first called to do this, we opened a home for minors that had been trafficked and that had been sexually trafficked, and we did that for 3 years. We were licensed through the state of Texas, and we had the home for minors. And what we started seeing was, after the girls left us, no matter what we did for them, when they left us, they didn't have a support system. I mean, if they stayed local, we would try to continue that support as much as possible. But a lot of times they would move away, and there would just be no support system in place at that point if they didn't have families to go back to. But another thing that we were surprised to find out when we opened the home, we opened our home in 2014, was that it was normally here in Texas the families that were trafficking them.
That's
and
so hard.
that came as a shock. We'd all seen the movie Taken, and you kind of have that idea that these girls are kidnapped off the street and pulled into it. And that does happen, but not nearly as often as it's someone in the family that is trafficking them. So we realized more and more that, yes, we were helping them in the early stages, and there were very few homes open that time specifically for girls that have been trafficked. But as time went on, more and more homes were opening up for minors. But still, there wasn't anything for the girls once they turned 18 and were out on their own. So we transitioned after 3 years and started helping the ones who really didn't have anyone to help them. And it's the state steps in, CPS steps in when they're minors, and they, get them off the streets. There's a lot being done in that area. But when they turn 18, it's sad to say, people kind of look at that and go, well, they're an adult. They're making these choices. And there's just not nearly as much help or as many people that want to help because they see them as adults, but they're really not. And, we wouldn't do that to our own children when they turn 18. We don't just say, okay, we're done. We're through with you. Try to make it on your own. If you have children, think about how much help they've needed since they turned 18.
All right.
And it's the same way with them. Without a support system, yes, they're going to be living on the streets. Yes, it then turns into survival sex a lot of times. They're trading sex to get a meal to eat, to get a place to sleep overnight. So we just saw the need as being great, and there was a big gap in services there. And so that's what we're trying to do, is to close that gap and give support where there's not a lot of support.
Okay. That is great work. But I know just from talking to you previously and on your website, there's another aspect of that is preventative, in that you all do some educational programs as well. Can you tell us about those?
I will. We started out doing what we call traffic signals. Early on, we were just trying to educate people on how these girls and boys are being trafficked too. It's just that we work mostly with girls, but a lot of people don't realize that boys are being trafficked also, but they are. So we were putting education out there, like at that time, back in 2010, 11, and 12, we knew that kids were being put out. Like sometimes, like I said, it was the parents that were trafficking, or we've had several that it was siblings. It was an older sibling that was selling their younger siblings. And a lot of times it was just in exchange for drugs. If the parents had a drug problem, or if the sibling had a drug problem, the exchange would be for drugs. So we were just trying to educate people on what that looked like, how these kids were getting trafficked, what they looked like. There were signs if a child was being trafficked. A lot of times they were still in school and parents were trafficking them, but they might notice a change in their grades, in the way they looked, in the way they dressed, or they might have had like an expensive cell phone that you wouldn't have thought they could afford, or that their family would, they would have a cell phone like that, and their trafficker was, supplying them with a cell phone. So our traffic signals was just teaching people, and we would do classes for medical, for school teachers, for church groups, just anybody that wanted to learn more. We had like a 4-hour class that you could go through, and we still have that. But as time went on, what we realized is these kids are now being trafficked. They're being groomed through the internet, because now all kids have cell phones. They're on all kinds of sites and gaming, and traffickers have learned that's a real easy place to go. They can be any age. A trafficker can pretend to be any age, any sex, and become friends with your children through the internet. So we started doing our research and put together another program, Traffic Solutions, and it's teaching parents and kids how to protect themselves on the internet, what can be done, apps that are particularly dangerous. A lot of parents don't realize they're letting their small children do gaming apps, and a lot of times predators are right there because they have little chat rooms that they can go into. They can visit with people on these gaming apps. And so just making parents aware of the apps that are more dangerous, that the FBI is seeing more and more predators on those apps, teaching parents about more controls for their children's phones, and then what to do if their child has been approached. Having those open conversations with your children about, if you are approached, you need to come to me, you know, talk to me, having those conversations with your children early on about what can happen on the internet, then how to respond. Because if you just simply say, Snapchat, they've been approached, and you just shut that down on their phone, well, that person's just going to go to somebody else. But there is a way to turn that in and a way to get in touch. There's numbers that they can call and get in touch with people that will go after that person, not just shut down the app or get them off of that app. If they're on some of the apps and they turn it into the app, they'll just simply shut that person's app down.
Right.
But that doesn't stop them. They just open up again. But going after the person is what needs to happen. So being aware of how to go about that so that we can, you know, put more of these predators away.
Right.
So
stop it on the
yes,
not just taking care of the kids, but making sure that the adults are held accountable. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a quick question. Going back to the girls that are in this program for you and that you're helping them go through, what does a typical timeline look like? How long are they typically in the system? What kind of success rates do you see? Because I know you guys are doing so much good work. So how can our members understand how their Operation Roundup funds are helping those that are right in our neighborhood?
Well, our typical program is, first of all, just to get them off the street, because they're so vulnerable if they're on the streets. So to give them a safe place.
Okay.
And then we start finding out what their goals are, because it has to be their goals. They can stay with us. We tell them it's 3 months to a year.
Okay.
But we've had girls that have only been with us like a month and a half, because maybe their goal was to get somewhere where they had safe family, but they just didn't have the money, the funds to get there. So we will bring them in. And a lot of times they've not gone to a doctor. They're sick, or they have STDs, unfortunately, when they come to us and are not being treated. So we find out about their medical problems, issues, first of all, and we try to take care of anything that needs to be dealt with right then. And then if it's simply getting them somewhere to safe family, and we vet that, we make phone calls, check out people. We don't just give them money and send them off on a bus. You know, we vet wherever they're going. We've had pregnant girls that simply needed to get into some kind of low-income housing and get on different state, whether it's WIC or SNAP, get benefits, you know, for food. We can help them that way. But if they need to stay with us longer, if they decide they want to go to school, if they've been in the foster care system and they've taken classes, so we'll just help them to get their FAFSA and get all of that figured out and help them to enroll in a junior college. I will say, when you ask about our success rate, I guess that really depends on your definition of success. Our definition of success is that we've taken them off the streets. We've kept them safe while they were with us. We've gotten them in programs if they needed rehab or if they needed mental health help. We've helped them with that. We've moved them further along that scale to being independent. We're also faith-based, and we have introduced them to Christ. We started that, giving them that hope that they can be healed of, whatever problems they have. They do have somebody that they can turn to. And what we have found out is a lot of times, our girls stumble and fall back into traps when they leave us. But we encourage them to stay in touch with us. I have girls that still call me and come to see me that we had back in 2014 when they were 14 and 15 years old.
I was just thinking, how different it is for these ladies coming out of that sort of life. Like, there's a whole different set of normals that those of us who aren't familiar with what's going on there, we think of normal life and normal parenting and the normal opportunities that we see and have available. And I say, it sounds like a lot of what you're doing is just educating on what is, what should be normal and what things are being missed because of life being so different for those folks.
Yes, it's really showing them a different way of life. We have started what we call wraparound services for our girls that have left our program, but they're still struggling. If we can help them in some way, if we can help them after they've left us, they may have been gone 2 or 3 years. Now they've decided they do want to go to school. Now they've decided they do need some type of certificate to work. We're still going to help them. We're going to reach out to them and we're going to help them even though they're not in the home. We're going to be that family that they don't have that's there for them.
And so much of what we look for, even in trying to help people, is a quick fix. And it sounds like these kind of relationships are really what it takes for the long-term success. Is that accurate?
It is long-term. It is, when you've been through what they've been through and the trauma that they have dealt with, and a lot of times until later in life, they don't even know that what they're going through is not normal because they've never known anything different.
Right.
They've been sexually abused since a small child by people in their family, then abused by strangers, and they don't even know that's not normal. People who love you and care about you should be protecting you. They don't know that. And they need to know that there are people out there that will help them, that will care about them and not expect anything in return.
So speaking of that, what is the best way for people to find out more in ways that we can help? I'm going to be real honest with you. The best way that people can help, now they can volunteer to help with us. They have to go through our training. There are different volunteer opportunities available, and we always love having volunteers. But becoming a donor, a monthly donor, we do not get funds from the state. We depend totally on donations with our insurance and everything that we have to have. It is so expensive. And we have, a security system, fire alarm system. All of that has to be done once a year where they come in and check all of that out. People don't realize how expensive that what we do. When we get our girls in, if they've got medical issues, most of them aren't on any kind of insurance or anything. We pay for that. If they need to go to urgent care when we get them, we pay for that. So honestly, people's prayers for our girls. And speaking of that, I would take prayers for our girl today in the hospital having this baby.
Oh, yeah.
But prayers and monetary support is the very best thing you can do. And then if you want to become involved as a volunteer, We have a volunteer coordinator. You can go to our website, refugeoflight.org, and you can get in touch with our volunteer coordinator, and she will tell you what opportunities there are for volunteering and what kind of training you would need, because it's different. If you're working in the home with our girls, then it's more training than if you're doing something, off-site for the girls.
Would that be the best, I assume, the best spot for information on your educational outreach opportunities too? Everything on the website there?
Everything's on the website, yes.
Well,
And we have a Facebook page, and you can, follow us on our Facebook page also.
Very happy that we were able to sort of pass along our members' donations to help, but we certainly appreciate the actual work you put into it, and your group of volunteers out there making a big difference in lives, and glad we can tell people about it. Hopefully we get even more folks to know about what you guys do, and taking care of the problem of trafficking and online abuse and things that we just don't want to think about, but that's a reality.
It is a reality, a sad one. And we appreciate y'all so much, and I appreciate this opportunity to talk. I always have a lot to say.
Well, it's important work, and certainly thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Well, that is a great chat about a terrible topic. Man, I just like last month when we were talking to CASA, you just hate the reminder that there's some really bad things going on, but it's great to have folks in our community who step up to make a difference and help counter the problems. So that is awesome.
I would have never known that, because these young women had aged out, that there are no grants available. So they have to go to resources like this. And so just know that those dollars, when you're rounding up your bill every month, at the most 99 cents, but on average 50 cents.
Right.
It's really going and helping so many people that you don't even realize you're having an impact on.
Right. And all of that money all the roundup money goes to these grants. I think there's a couple of other things that they have to spend money on. There's no staff for that. We do the work for that, the PR team and the board.
And I think,
thanks for that.
Thinking about the election that's coming up, those, like you said, they approve, the board that's on there, they approve those grants. And so we really, really vet these people that do apply for the grants, and then they do the challenging work. And so that's just more work that they're doing. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you vote. Yeah. Good tie in there. It's been a great month of August. A little bit late getting the podcast out here, but thanks everybody who stuck around and listened to that. We really appreciate it, and make your plans for October 16th for the annual meeting. And do you want to talk about hunting season? Oh, that's right. Some of you folks out there are about to go use some firearms. Yes. What you got about hunting season? Well, just a reminder to be safe. Don't shoot at electrical infrastructure. And yes. A lot of those birds that perch on those lines, of course, you just want to be mindful of it. We've shared some tips on our Facebook page as well. Yeah, go check out the social media stuff. Don't use anything for target practice. You will cause problems. And if you're shooting the birds while they're sitting on a wire, well, that's not right. So, and that can cause a fire and a power outage. That's never fun. No. All right. Thanks for joining us, Leigh. Okay. And speaking, my tummy's growling right now. Oh no! Maybe that's why I've got lineman lunch on my mind. Yeah, but it's too far to drive from Kaufman to Tennessee Colony. It's lunchtime now. Is that where the lineman lunch? That was. I got to go down to the Colony General Store, which is the only place to eat in Tennessee Colony. Okay. Well, unless you're in one of the facilities down there that provides meals. That's an inside joke there, but. If you are in the area of Tennessee Colony and you want a dining experience that is very much in keeping with the area, it is so right. And I'm told, Todd Tanner told me about this. He said, you really got to go on a Tuesday for Taco Tuesday. I did not make it on a Tuesday. Oh, man. But it's a great little burger place. They've got some good stuff. They've got pizza. Just a fun place to eat. And it's kind of like...
communal dining. You never know who you might end up sitting next to. There's everybody in the area coming in to eat. If you want to sit at a long table and have a great time, have good food, and be part of the community, it's funny because when our guys are there, they are constantly talking to people, to members, because the whole area is TVEC members. And so they get not only a fill of food, they get a fill of the local, what's going on, and maybe a few, hey, come out here and fix this or fix that. So,
or maybe hopefully some thanks.
And a lot of I'm sure there's a lot of that too. But those guys down there do good work, and it's just great to be part of the community as our employees are. And I think that's it, because it is lunchtime as we're recording this. If we want to not have the tummy growls coming through on the podcast.
I do apologize if they did.
Well, it's been a great month. So everybody have a good one. Go out and when your magazine does come in, be sure and go vote. We really appreciate that too.
Yep. See ya.